What's up? This is Davinci Neptune. In this video, we're going to be talking about why women test men. Now, I want you to imagine that women want a strong house that's not going to crumble. Or, for example, there's a bridge, and she needs to make sure that the bridge is not going to collapse and fall down. So she has to, test the waters, test the bridge. Now, in the real life scenario, she has to ask questions. And sometimes this also is in the form of game testing, playing games. So she'll sometimes act inappropriate to see how you react to her. Again, this is very similar to the job hiring process. The dating game, love and attraction is very similar to kind of like applying for work. You got your resume, you dress to impress, you got to say the right things. Although in this case, it's more about attraction, and it's more about playfulness, it's more about, that sexual chemistry or that personal spiritual chemistry as well. So this is why a woman needs to find out about you before she's willing to invest into you. Also, she is biologically programmed to make sure that she finds a high quality man to make a baby with. Now, there's also a couple factors as well. Some women who are sexually attracted to you may not care about the baby and they just want to get laid. They just horny and they're just DTF, which is known, it's just called a down to fuck. But when it comes to why they play games because they want to find information about you, about what kind of guys you are. So it's a test. It's a shit test. A lot of it's a shit test. A lot of it's just testing your reaction. They want to see if you can handle the pressure. They want to see if if you can handle her. Now again, this test doesn't. It's really it's very insignificant. Like you don't really know anyone by what they do within the first 60 seconds or 5 minutes that you met them. But it's a screen. It weeds out the weak men. It weeds out the guys who are not capable. Now, this could be right or wrong. It doesn't even matter because this is the way that they are equipped. This is a social instinct for them. So you can think of it as men are in the attack, women are in the defense. So women are gonna ask questions or they're gonna play games to see if the man can handle her, if she's even sexually interested. She has to test before she gets invested because she wants to know if the guy is worth the effort, worth the time. Now again, you can flip the script on her because like when you approach on her, you can also make her work for you as well because there's no reason for you to go up there and qualify yourself and try to impress her as if she's the prize when from your perspective you're the prize too, right? So it's kind of like it depends on how you want to go about it. It depends on the women. Some women are more easier going than others, but in general all women will play games. Now the mature ones will play less often because they know it's kind of pointless. They know it's kind of silly, and you can kind of just fill a guy out. Women know if they're attracted to a man really quickly within this first 60 seconds to like 2 minutes by the way he talks, by his body language, all these kind of subconscious energy. She picks it up and then she already kind of knows, all right, this is a guy, this is the type of guy I like, especially because this is their reality. This is the process that they've been living through since they were, a kid, the relationship, filtering out different type of men. They're also dating different type of guys, so they're gaining different type of experiences and life wisdom, and then they collect this kind of huge database, and then that's kind of what they have when they meet you. So you are competing with their database essentially. But I want this like to really emphasize this fact that All women will play games because they need to. They need to test if you're strong enough. They need to test if you want one, you are who you say you are. If you're this confident man, she's gonna do some little silly game to see how confident you are. Now again, this is not even like a true or false thing, but it's just a screener. It's a shit test or it's a screener just to see like your reactions. And the way you handle this is you try to stay calm under pressure without letting her rattle you. Because if she rattles you, you kind of lose the game and you lose attraction. So it's like if she wins that, like if you approach her in a confident way and she does something really inappropriate, then basically you kind of lose the girl. Now this is not 100% true. This is not a 100% statement, but when she tests you and you fail, and you're kind of disqualified because now you don't look like a confident guy. You don't look like you're experienced. You don't look like you know what you're doing. You don't look like you can fulfill her, maybe even in the bedroom. All these things women are calculating as you speak to her. She is trying to feel you out, your body language, what you say, what you don't say, and she is processing this information. And this is why women have to test you. Now, what do I think about it? I think it can be very silly. I think it can be very overkill. I personally, I don't like it when girls test or play games. I'm not saying that they don't need to. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I'm saying I personally like more cool girls, more easier girls. Like just they don't need to act in a way that they don't need to, because they can just kind of feel the connection. This is why me personally, I connect more with the spiritual women, because spiritual women, they can sense the vibes, they can sense the energy, they can sense the flow. So we connect on a subconscious and a spiritual level, whereas the average girl would not be able to pick up my vibes or pick up my energy. But with a spiritual woman, there's a lot less gaming because we already know what each other is about on a spiritual level. I think that's all I want to say about this. This is why women want to test. This is why women test you. Try not to let it rattle you. Try not to be offended by it. In fact, if she does test you, take it as a sign that she's interested in you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wasting time.